Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My Latin Life is your trusted guide to traveling and living in Latin America. And today we're diving into a topic that's been taking the world by storm: van life. Whether you've seen those dreamy van conversions on Instagram or heard stories of people ditching their traditional homes for life on the road, you might be wondering, what exactly is van life? Is it really as cool as it looks? And more importantly, is it for you? So stick around because I'm going to give you the ultimate lowdown on what van life is all about and why so many people are choosing to live in a van full time. So let's start with the basics. What is van life? Van life is a lifestyle where people convert a van or camper van into a living space and travel around full-time or part-time using the van as their primary home. For some, it's a way to break free from the 9 to 5 grind and live a minimalist, nomadic lifestyle. For others, it's about the adventure, the freedom to explore, and being closer to nature. This isn't just about having a van to go camping in on weekends. We're talking about a fully outfitted van that includes a bed, a small kitchen, storage, sometimes a bathroom, and even solar panels to power electronics. So think of it as a tiny house on wheels. So why are so many people choosing the van life lifestyle? Well, there are a few big reasons, and they all have to do with freedom, flexibility, avoiding the mortgage, and living more intentionally. First, there's the freedom to travel. When you live in a van, obviously the world becomes your backyard. You're not tied to a specific location, so you can wake up in the mountains one day and by the beach the next, right? It's the ultimate road trip, but instead of returning home at the end of it, your home comes with you. That means you're always ready for the next adventure, whether it's hiking in national parks, camping under the stars, or discovering small towns and hidden gems off the beaten path. Another big reason people choose van life is to escape the traditional lifestyle. More and more people are realizing that they don't want to be tied down to a mortgage, bills, or a typical 9 to 5 job. So van life offers a chance to live more simply with fewer material possessions, less debt, and to focus on experiences instead. So for many, it's about prioritizing what really matters, whether that's exploring nature, spending time with loved ones, being where you want to be at a given point in the year, or working remotely while on the road. Let's talk about minimalism. In a van, space is obviously very limited, which means that you have to be intentional about what you bring with you. It forces you to downsize and only keep the things that are truly important to you. This can be really liberating, honestly, for people who feel weighed down by too much stuff. What's it called? The hoarders. It's all about quality over quantity, living with less, but feeling richer in experiences. So, what does van life look like on a day-to-day basis? Every van lifer's experience is a little bit different, depends what country you're in, but there are a few common things you'll find in most people's routines. First, there's the van setup. A well-designed van is crucial for making van life comfortable and functional. Most people convert their vans to include a bed, a kitchenette with a stove or portable burner, storage for clothes and essentials, and sometimes a small fridge or cooler. Many vans are outfitted with solar panels to provide electricity for charging phones, laptops, and running small appliances. So, depending on the size of the van, you might even have a bathroom set up, but a lot of van lifers rely on public facilities or portable camping toilets. Who knows what the percentage is that have a bathroom in their setup, but definitely a consideration to keep in mind. The next is where you park your van. So this can vary a lot depending on your lifestyle and where you're traveling to. Some van lifers prefer to stay at campgrounds, national parks, or RV parks where you have access to showers, restrooms, and hookups for water and electricity. Others prefer to boondock, as it's called, which means parking and staying overnight in places like, the Walmart parking lot or remote areas where you can camp for free. You could also stay in cities, parking in designated spots, the Walmart, as we mentioned, the Cracker Barrel, which are known to allow overnight parking. So when it comes to work, many van lifers support their lifestyle through remote jobs. With the rise of remote work, it's easier than ever to take your job on the road with you and do your work from your laptop wherever you are, including from a van. Whether you're a freelancer, a digital nomad, or a remote employee, having a good internet connection is key. Many van lifers use mobile hotspots or public Wi-Fi to stay connected and work from their laptops wherever they are. You can also, Bluetooth from your phone and connect your phone to your computer. And then nowadays in 2024, we have Starlink and we have satellite internet, which is quite developed. And we should honestly be feel very lucky to have that, because years ago people would be dependent on going to the Starbucks parking lot or something, and now you can get it with Starlink wherever you are, even in the middle of the forest. So imagine having your morning coffee while working with a view of the mountains. That's what this enables. But let's get real for a second. Van life isn't always as glamorous as Instagram makes it look. There are definitely some challenges you need to consider if you're thinking about hitting the road full time. One of the biggest challenges is limited space. While living in a van forces you to simplify and downsize, it can also feel cramped, especially if you're traveling with a partner or a pet. You'll need to learn how to make the most of every inch of space, and that means getting creative with the storage solutions, multi-purpose furniture, multi-purpose items, and just generally being super organized. Another challenge is finding places to park overnight. Depending on where you are, it can be tough to find a safe, legal, and comfortable place to park your van for the night. While there are tons of apps and websites that can help with this, it's something you'll need to plan ahead for, especially in more populated areas where parking restrictions might apply. Okay, so there's also the issue of access to basic amenities like showers, bathrooms, laundry, electricity. Some van lifers install showers in their vans or use outdoor camping showers, but many also rely on gyms, gym memberships, campgrounds, or public facilities. For laundry, you might need to stop at laundromats, and for water refills, you'll need to find places where you can fill up your tanks. So these are things you might take for granted in a traditional home, but when you're on the road, they require a bit more planning. Lastly, the mechanical side. When you're living in your vehicle full time, keeping it in good shape is essential. Regular maintenance is a must, and unexpected breakdowns can happen, which means you need to be prepared with some basic mechanical knowledge, or at least have a solid plan for repairs when things go wrong. Okay, so all that considered, is van life for you? If you're someone who loves to travel, if you crave freedom, if you don't mind living a little bit more minimalistically, living a little bit different than everyone else, then it could be the perfect fit for you. Van life offers a unique way to explore the world on your own terms. It's not just about living in a van, it's about embracing the unknown, living with intention, and being a part of a growing community of adventurers who are rethinking what home really means. And now you can do this internationally as well. We recently did a podcast with Electric Americas. They drove a pair of Teslas all the way from Alaska down to Argentina and Ushuaia and the end of the world. They crossed all the Americas in an electric car. And they actually did this a couple years ago when it was even more difficult. So you can only imagine. You can search for the podcast on the My Latin Life podcast. So shout out to the My Latin Life podcast. 200 plus episodes. You're going to love it. But that's it for today's video. If you found this helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button for more content about van life, alternative lifestyles in Latin America, travel, and living life on your own terms. So if you're already living the van life or thinking about starting, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, tips, or any questions that you might have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.